Hi, I'm Nick from Enemy, and we're here with Dan and Kyle from Bastille.
Hello.
How's it going?
All right, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, good. So, Joy is the first single from the new album. Are you excited to finally have it out there?
We're so excited. It's the last song on the album, and it's kind of, I guess, the sort of the closing moment from the vague story of the record, and Caught Possibly in Light being the opening bit. I feel like it's quite nice to have the beginning and the end out there, and then we'll fill in the rest as we go on.
And you've talked about the beginning and the end. We've heard Doom Days, we've heard Joy. I mean, they're polar opposites. Doom Days, you're talking about the end of the world. Joy, well, it's all there in the title. Is there a lot of light and dark on the record then?
It's a constant kind of flick between, because the whole point is it's sort of being in a house party and the apocalypse is going on outside. Yeah. And it's sort of like every now and again it tries to creep in, and that's the dark. But then it's you kind of losing yourself in these moments with people in whatever relationship, sort of like whatever, and then that's the happiness. So it's that battle, I guess.
We wanted to put the Caught Possibly in Light sort of really like blows the doors off and sets the scene, and then Doom Days is the kind of middle point of the album, where it's almost like a rolling list of like a brain splurge of all the different things that like kind of modern anxieties, but it ends with the idea of like choosing to put down your phone, forget it for the night, and lose yourself in people and lose yourself in the nighttime. And so the second half of the record kind of tips into that, and Joy is the moment at the end, almost like a moment of redemption, where you wake up on the kitchen floor and all of the anxieties come flooding in, and something as simple as a call or a message from somebody that can just,
bring you back at that moment.
Yeah, bring you back at that moment, and also rip the piss out of you and make you feel ridiculous for the state that you're in. I don't know, just this. I guess we wanted to gesture towards the smallest little things that can sort of pull you back from feeling like you're on the brink, which I think is something that kind of everybody feels all the time. So it's nice to have the sort of 3 tentpoles of the album out there, because there's a lot of other songs that we're really excited about. But yeah.
And with Joy, what's different from where Bastille have gone before, do you think?
I think it's the song on the record that's most obviously influenced by our reorchestrated tour, in that it's got
the gospel singers are so they're just scattered over the entire track. It's it's crazy, and to have the kind of second most important vocal on the track be these gospel people instead of sort of like layered us or layered Dan, that's something that we've never really done before. And it brings that kind of, it just gives it that lift, that kind of gospel happy lift. It's also a relatively happy song, which I think it's the first in all the albums that's even vaguely positive, and that's weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
Changing, aren't you, mate?
Oh no. The singer Bim, who's all over the track. I think we all just fell in love with her voice when we were touring with her and all the other singers and all the other musicians last year, and. We ended up kind of revisiting the record after the tour and changing a lot of things, and just wanted her to shine on this track. And almost, at the end of it, she basically takes over. She's like, right, fuck off, Dan. I can actually sing. My turn. And and she's amazing, and we're just so excited to have her voice all over the song. And I think it's proper. It takes you kind of. It hopefully takes you from that kind of hazy wake up feeling through the kind of depths of despair, and but it was really fun to make, fun to produce. We wanted it to be like quite simple, quite sparse, but sort of pack a punch.
We just they're like packing a punch, and you've got the gospel in there. Is that do you think that the new stuff is kind of like more produced as a whole? I mean, it certainly sounds like more pronounced. It's kind of bigger than before. Do you think that's fair? That it's bigger than before?
I think with our music, we've always sort of messed around with the idea of scale, and I think it comes from, we're both producers, and we work with Mark on everything, and although we're a band who exist to play gigs, and because that's what we love doing, and we've always toured right from the start, from like toilet venues and clubs and stuff, and that stuff is amazing and so important. But we also, we love production, and we love pop music, and we love electronic music as well. So that element has always been really key for us, and I think because in the beginning, and actually for the first 2 albums, we were making music in like a bedroom and in a tiny basement, probably a little bit smaller than this one. It was always about using our imaginations and I guess it was a form of escapism, and so the scale of it was always about layering things up. I think on this album, the thing, because it's essentially, on one level, it's like a party and it's a night out, it felt important to us that other voices wandered in and out, so that's why maybe the scale comes from just allowing other people in. But yeah, I think, you know, because of the sort of that desire for escapism, we've always had music that goes sort of ridiculously big. Because, you know, the only thing we had when we didn't have much, when we basically just had a laptop and a couple of instruments, was the ability to layer things up. And, you know, it's also really nice to sort of pull back from that. So I think on this album there's kind of some of our smallest, most intimate sounding songs with as little going on, in as much as there's a song like Joy, where I think it sounds big, but hopefully we've achieved that by actually not that much happening. There's this big choir of voices, there's an 808 kick, and there's a bass and some drums, and like that's kind of it. Yeah. And because I think often, because we spend a lot of time in the studio sort of fucking around with the songs, and often you realise at the end it's about stripping stuff out, and the more you take out, the bigger things sound, or the more interesting they sound.
And, you know, you kind of said the idea of a house party during the apocalypse. Is that true of the world today, do you think? Or is that like something you're thinking, you know, this feels like it could happen at this moment in time?
I think we sort of put out there that it's an apocalyptic party album, and we sort of want the album and the songs to kind of stand for themselves and people to sort of bring to them what they want, because it's always kind of a bit... I mean, we're sitting here about to explain our songs, and I'm about to say that it's sort of really lame to explain songs, but, you know, it's always fun to do that anyway. But, yeah, I think with the apocalypse, it's kind of up to interpretation. You know,
it's super broad. Like
it feels like the apocalypse is happening pretty much all the time at the moment, but we're aware that's really dramatic. So,
but also like in terms of scale, so like kind of culturally, socially, politically, sort of like apocalyptic, but also like someone's personal apocalypse. You know, like dealing with going through a breakup or dealing with some loss or whatever. So it's basically the house party is that kind of closed off escapism, sort of hedonism pit that sometimes you just need to ignore whatever it is that you're trying to like whatever your apocalypse is. Just want to ignore that for just a night, and that's what drives you to go. Actually, do you know what? I want to stay here for as long as possible and go as hard as I can, and then and that's why you end up on the floor at 8 in the morning.
That's really well put.
Thank you very much. Done. So I'll see you guys later.
Amazing. And, you know, just kind of like looking forward to your shows in the summer. You've got Glastonbury coming up, the Pyramid.
Yes.
Would you say that Glastonbury is almost kind of feeling like a rehearsal for that headline slot at Reading? Do you ever think you get to a point where Glastonbury is a rehearsal for Reading?
I don't think I will ever feel like Glastonbury is a rehearsal.
Okay.
Yeah. Glastonbury feels like the most... Well, you know, it's a festival that I've been going to every year for as long as I can remember, and I love it so much, and it feels like the only festival like it in the world. Reading and Leeds is amazing, and, you know, going there growing up was a kind of, for me, like a life-changing experience, but it's in a whole different world to me, to what Glastonbury is. And I think we're really excited about Reading and Leeds just because it's gonna be hopefully really rowdy. You know, Reading is the Sunday night. I think it's like people's last dying, gasping wheeze of energy before the bank holiday Monday. But yeah, we're like so excited about Reading and Leeds, but I think it's gonna be quite a different show. Glastonbury, you know, we never ever thought we'd get to play the Pyramid stage, and we just want to bring a kind of really artistic and interesting and really fun show to that stage, and you know, it might be the only time we ever get to play there, so we just want to make the most of it.
And with Reorchestrated, where you did something a little bit different, do you think like you ever like combine those two and do have like a touch of the two together?
We've always, the thing is, we've always brought in elements of orchestration into our music, and that's, I think, why the Reorchestrated tour worked and was so much fun. We've always had strings players along on tour with us. We've, you know, when we were touring Wild World, we had a brass section the whole time. So we've kind of played with it, and I think Reorchestrated was our first opportunity to really just wholly do that and throw ourselves at that thing. And so, that, like, you know, in Doom Days on the album, those elements have kind of bled into it in what we think is a really nice and exciting way. And yeah, for sure, those like just cut to Glastonbury and you'll see what I'm talking about.
And, you know, away from Glastonbury, away from touring, what else have you got up? Have you got like other touring plans for the rest of the year, do you think?
We have a shitload of touring plans. We're playing loads of festivals over the summer, which we're really excited about. We're doing a launch event for the album in London. We've worked with a writer to put together a immersive, binaural, multi-choice theatre experience that sits alongside the album. Yes, so that's a mouthful. I was trying to do it justice, and I was
Where's
like,
he going with this?
You just sound like a pretentious twat.
And also like you're making it up on the spot.
no, I kind of was. Which we're really excited about, and I should probably not talk about too much, but it's going to be, when the album comes out, quite a sort of special couple of shows that we're doing that will hopefully be this completely immersive version of the album, involving us playing it live as well. We're also doing a sort of a smaller club tour in December.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Which is gonna, just like rowdy, play the album from start to finish. Tide is DJing, Woody's going to DJ, just basically put on some like club nights in and around the album just to sort of celebrate it being out and just play in towns all around the UK that people don't normally visit on tour. So like just a nice excuse to get to play a load of towns and a load of venues that aren't on the usual touring route, which I think is hopefully, well, it's going to be really fun, but it's important to sort of support those venues and get to different places. So we're really excited about that. And then we've got quite a big US tour coming up as well. So it's going to be busy.
It's a lot of stuff.
Busy old year.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cheers, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Cool.